Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Bad Toy Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at this guy, which I'm sure you know is an updated version of this guy. Toxie from the Toxic Crusaders, from the Toxic Avenger movies. I wasn't old enough to see the Toxic Avenger movies when they first came out, because, you know, I'm a kid and my mom didn't want to expose me to that type of thing, but I loved the Toxic Crusaders. I'm not even sure I ever saw more than two of the cartoons. I grew up in kind of a rural area. We didn't have cable. But the designs, like seeing the designs on these figures when I'd see them in the toy store, was just great. He comes with this slip cover to his box. And there he is, the slime slip cover. Nothing on the back there. But there he is. And let's break him out of the box and take a closer look at him. Alright guys, and here you see new Toxie right next to old Toxie. Let's take a closer look at them so you can get an idea of the ridiculous attention to detail that went into this. So let's pick them both up and bring them in. You'll see there that the face, the head bandana, you know, the shirt, you would think this would be colored green right there because of the rip in it. But it's not. There's a rip there, but there's no boil. The boils that go all over it, they're not identical, but I mean the red, white, and blue wristband, the yellow on this side. This one has a globe there in the center, where this one has a place for it. It just didn't get included for whatever reason. The tears in the pant there are, of course, slightly different. But still, I mean, just incredible attention to detail in this figure. Of course, the newer one is going to be so much more articulated than the older one. But here is one cool thing that they included that completely different, did not have to. But it adds so much to the nostalgia of this figure. And I'm fixing to turn the lights off here. They both have glowing eyes on their left-hand side. They're just so cool. Such a cool little attentive thing. You see the bandolier is basically the same bandolier on both figures. The notch there for the little cohort that we'll see here in a minute that I do not have for this original Toxie. But let's take a look at the back. And again, you know, there's a spot here that should have been green, and it's here and it's painted. There's the boil there on the back. The tattered clothes, and you know, it's the red bands there on the shoes. Let's take a look at the feet. We got both feet creeping out of that boot there. We've got the glop. Got the glop there on that boot. There's one here on this boot here that you see that is present on this one. It just wasn't painted. But again, the attention to detail on this is just remarkable. Let's take a look at his articulation real quick. He's got the shoulder. This is very, you know, I don't have any of the Mattel Masters of the Universe, excuse me, but it's quite evident, that body. This was produced by Super 7, which, you know, did the He-Man line for a long time. Well, not a long time, but here recently. Single articulation on the elbow that I don't think anybody's going to complain about. Single articulation on the knee. The hips kick out. There's articulation there. And, of course, ankle rocker that does pivot like that. The boot slides there at the calf. And just a great figure. So excited. You know, this was on pre-order for over a year, and so happy it finally arrived here. Super 7 produces some incredible stuff. Let's take a look at the accessories here. Here's the original Toxie shield with the, let me move them out of the way so the camera doesn't have to work so hard to focus. But here's the original Toxic Crusader shield with the pipe fitting on the back for him to hold on to. And here is the new one. Again, dropped it. Very similar. Pipe there. There's no little ring there like is on this one. And this piece, you know, it does articulate like this, whereas this one does not. It's more solid. There's no articulation in this pipe, but it will allow them to hold on to it, which we'll show here in a little bit. But this one looks really good considering it's, what, 29 years old now? These came out in 1991. Just great stuff. Let's look at their mops. Here's the mop for the original Playmates figure. One of the differences in this figure, in the Super 7 one and the original Playmates one, is the Playmates one had this splatter on the mop there, and it's also, like you'll see it here, on Toxie's pants and boots, that is not present in the new figure, which I'm okay with. I don't think that detracts from it at all, but there's the new mop next to the old mop, and the American flag on the 29-year-old model did not survive these past 29 years. This one is a improvement because it snaps on and off, so you don't have to worry about losing a sticker. So we'll just take that off. But just great details on this mop. The individual strands and everything. Super, super detailed. The full handle there. Full handle there. The next accessory we have that both of them came with are going to be these little canister grenades, which you'll see there are very, very similar. Of course, the new one's here on the right, the old one's on the left. Very cool feature for the canister grenades. And here's another one. The symbol that's in the middle of these are different. These are all stars. Yeah, all three of them have stars on them. And all three of these, move back there. Maybe a tree? I don't know. But nonetheless, very, very similar. This guy here came with the Super 7. I do not have the one that came with the original Toxie. The one that I have, I don't know what happened to it, but the old one had a glow-in-the-dark feature. There we go. The old one had a glow-in-the-dark feature. This new one does not. It's just made of a soft, clear plastic. Well, not that soft, but there is a hole for it there, so he sits on Toxie's shoulder. And let's get these set up so that we can take a look at them fully accessorized. And there they are side by side. The original Toxie on the left, the Super 7 Toxie on the right. Now, Super 7 Toxie did come with a couple of accessories that original Toxie did not. You probably saw them in the package, one of them being this black tutu, if you want a more movie version of your Toxie, with the black tutu as he was wearing when he went into the toxic waste. There's that. It clips, like you take it apart here, and it just clips behind his back. I will not be displaying mine with that. And it also comes, again, if you want a more movie version of Toxie, it comes with a head without the bandana on it. It appears to be the same sculpt as the one with the bandana, just minus the bandana. Let's see if this one has a glow-in-the-dark eye as well. I suspect it does. Yep, look at there. Glow-in-the-dark eye. But the head just pops off. This one pops right on, but mine is going to be displayed as you see here. Just a great figure from Super 7. They completely knocked it out of the park. The details, you know, when compared to the original figure, are just insane. They really did a great job. Anybody else going for nostalgia, which is a big thing right now with things like the Ghostbusters and Star Wars, you know, if you're going to scale it up, might as well make it as close to what people remember as possible. And this is the best example of that I can think of. The vintage Star Wars figures that are coming out right now are essentially the old molds reused. Same thing with the real Ghostbusters old molds, just reused, which are great for what they are. But if you're wanting to do something special, man, Super 7 absolutely killed it. You know, there's little gripes like, you know, why not put the little world thing here in his belt and, you know, paint this little green side. But we're talking tiny gripes. These figures are so great. And it was worth the wait, you know, almost a year and a half to get this guy from the time I pre-ordered it to the time it arrived. Well worth the wait. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you got any questions, leave them down in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. And like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Hope you're being safe out there, and we'll see you on the next one.